Hello everyone, and this is my review for WWE NXT on April 22nd, 2015. And you know, this week's NXT broadcast I thought was actually a relatively good broadcast to for the show. You definitely had some good starting. You had a good start to a storyline going on in there. The continuation of a storyline they kind of put to the side for a little while, and obviously some other storylines going on, other stories, and of course the matches themselves. You know, they started off the show with Finn Balor going up against I forget his name. It was more of a local guy, well, probably one of the newer guys to the NXT to the Performance Center down there. Relatively good match, just a way of showing off what Finn can do. But that was not the main aspect of that. That was pretty much the after point. The main aspect to everything was the starting of Finn Balor's feud with Tyler Breeze, it looks like at this point. And you know, that's not necessarily I know it's a little bit of a step down considering he was just in the NXT title picture, but it's not necessarily a bad thing here because it's another way for him to show what he can do with a different type of guy, different type of talent in Tyler Breeze. And of course this will also be another good way of Tyler Breeze showing off what he can do as well. So it should be an interesting storyline, and looking forward to seeing where they go with this here in the very near future. Next up, they had a triple threat match for the #1 contendership to the women's title: Becky Lynch, Bayley, and Charlotte. Really good triple threat match between all three of the women there. Well timed out spots. No, outside of the fatal four-way and everything, no real story build up. It's just an aspect of basic story, them going after #1 contendership. I like the finish of the match where you have Bayley stuck in the figure four. Or in Charlotte's version of the figure four, and Becky Lynch gets the pin out of that. I like that aspect because you would have figured it would have been one of those two, somebody who is actually a full-on face going into a feud with Sasha Banks at that point. But I'm kind of glad they're going with a different one of the different women in this case with Becky Lynch, and you had a quick backstage promo between the two of them to start off their feud. Basic, you know, basic. The two don't like each other, and one wants the title, one wants to keep the title. So we'll see how they continue on with this storyline and see where they go with it. You do have the aspect of the two of them teaming up for a little while as well in there that you can play off of that for a bit as well. So we'll see where they go along with that. Next up, they had Hideo Itami and CJ Parker. Basically, all this was a really good match. The two of them put on a great match to the people in the crowd there. Nothing you could say wrong about that match. The only thing is that neither one of them really had a storyline going on, and now they basically. They still don't have a storyline, but they went out there and put on a good match, showed people what they could do inside the ring, and hopefully they'll be getting a feud here for Hideo Itami here in the very near future. The next match they had was Rhino and again one of the newer guys to oh sorry, and I don't know why I'm going I am messing up my words there. Just one of the newer guys to the Performance Center. Quick match. Nothing special about that one. Kind of just, not really a throwaway segment, just kind of something there to keep Rhino relatively relevant. Because I guess they're going to be using him for future NXT tapings, which is not a bad thing by any stretch of the imagination. That's a really good thing. So we'll see what they're going to be using Rhino for here next, whenever they do their next tapings, and we see what goes on for the next NXT broadcast. You also had a backstage vignette continuing on the aspect of, you know, Carmella getting in between the whole Enzo Amore and Big Cass versus Wesley and Blake in the tag team title picture. I like the backstage segment. I thought it came off relatively well. Again, this is just something that is, leading into that tag team title match for whenever they decide to go for it, whether it be at the next NXT special or during the next tapings, whenever, or however they're going to be doing this, whether or not they're going to be doing a turn with Carmella or if she'll stay with them, and with Enzo and Big Cass. They have a lot where they can work with in this storyline for potential for either keep on going for a little bit longer, or it might come to just straight to a straight screeching halt when they actually do the match. So we'll see how they continue on with the storyline. I've kind of been liking this portion of it. They've been doing a relatively good job. Wesley and Blake have been becoming a little bit better and more comfortable behind the microphone, so it's definitely coming off a lot better than what it had been doing in the past. So we'll see how they continue on with this. And this leads into the main event of the night, which was Kevin Owens and Alex Riley. Basically the exact same match that they had back when they filmed in Columbus, and it wasn't really that wasn't really the main point of everything. The main point was the continuation of the Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens storyline, and I think this was definitely a good way of continuing on with it. Just Sami Zayn going after Kevin Owens, and that's how I feel that's how they've been pretty much depicting how Sami Zayn wanted to do things with Kevin Owens in the terms of how the storyline was going to go. I'm glad that's how they went with it, and we'll see how they continue on building. I'm glad they decided to have the aspect of Sami Zayn getting the momentum and upper hand in this case, in this portion of the storyline, making Kevin Owens back off. The spot that they did outside of the ring with Kevin Owens and everyone else, and Sami Zayn doing the senton out to the back, not out to the back, but out to the floor, was a really cool spot. I liked where they're going with this storyline. I'm glad they're going to continue on with it, and we'll see how they decide to continue on with that here in the very near future, whether it's just another match on the NXT program or for their next special. I'm assuming for their next special they'll probably have Zayn and Owens go at it again, and we'll see how long they decide to continue on with this storyline. So overall, I felt this week's NXT was a relatively very good NXT. I thought they came off very well in the terms of their matches, storyline creation, and continuation and building. So yeah, overall, really good NXT this week. So that's my review this week for WWE NXT, and I thank you guys for watching.